Hello everyone. We're live and it's right on 12, so perfect timing. I am just inhaling my women's blend from doTERRA, which is full of feminine energy, feminine essence, which is what we're going to be talking about today. I'm just going to wait a few seconds, see if anyone's going to jump on live with us. But if you're watching the replay, say hi in the comments anyway. Let me know that you were here. Today, so I did a poll on Instagram stories and asked, we'll give two options of what we could tap on today. One was self-doubt versus self-belief and having the confidence in yourself, and the other one was being open to receiving. I've done a little bit of tapping on being open to receiving before, but I don't think I've done it in this group. So yeah, that'll be fun to explore today, but I've got a new sort of take or angle that I want to talk about first, and that is of feminine and masculine energy. So we know that feminine energy is all about being and stillness and intuition, and that is where we receive from. So in the past, my perspective on receiving has been spending more time like going inwards and not being in so much of the doing and just kind of allowing and surrendering. But lately I've been diving into sexual polarities, and yeah, it's giving me a slightly different perspective on this. So if we're talking about receiving in terms of receiving money, money is a masculine energy and receiving money is a feminine energy. So when we have those two polarities, they're magnetized, and that's when we can attract that to us. So being in the feminine is really important for being able to attract the masculine energy of money into our life. So if I then look at sexual polarities, which is something, if you haven't come across this term before, it gets talked about a lot in relationship coaching or sex coaching, and it's basically something that we can nurture and create in our relationships to create that spark or chemistry that we often get with partners, or you might get to begin with when you first start seeing someone, but later on the track that sort of tends to or can often fade away if it's not nurtured. So it's actually something that is not just there or it's not, it's something that we can actually create and nurture, and we do that through creating the polarity between the feminine energy and the masculine energy. And that's not to say that the man needs to be in the masculine and the woman needs to be in the feminine, although I think naturally the majority of us tend to have those essences. So women tend to have a natural feminine essence, although we're conditioned to be more in our masculine. But if we are able to release that conditioning and come back to our true nature, women often have a natural feminine energy or feminine essence, and men have a natural or a more natural masculine energy or masculine essence. And so when we are both in those energies, that creates more of that chemistry and spark and polarity between the two. So when I sort of start to think about this from the perspective of receiving, now it doesn't just need to be about money, although like I said, money is a masculine energy and receiving money is feminine. But this can be about opportunities or, anything in your life that you're wanting to receive. Think about the thing that you're wanting to receive as being in the masculine energy, and you receiving it, or you attracting that in, being in your feminine energy to create that magnetism and create that chemistry between those two things. So lately I've been thinking about this in terms of surrendering to the universe. So the universal gifts and magic and things like divine timing and synchronicities and everything that can kind of go on in the quantum or through source energy that we don't necessarily need to control, giving up that control, not just from a passive feminine place, but from like a real sexual feminine energy. And that being like the woman who is handcuffed to the bed and just like fully embracing her sexuality and just all the trust that she is placing into her partner, and just giving up that complete control and vulnerability and closing her eyes and just being so present in her senses and the pleasure and the sensuality and the joy, and just not having control over how things are playing out, but just being so willing, so trusting. First of all, there's so much trust in putting yourself in that position, but just being so willing to give it all over and to just be along for the ride, and just not being the one who's driving the direction of the experience, but just allowing it all, surrendering it all, but from a real magnetic kind of sexual place. So if we think about this in terms of receiving, I'm wanting to embody this energy, this real feminine sexuality with the universe and with everything that I'm wanting to attract, and being in a place of like just wanting to experience pure joy and pleasure with the adventure, with the ride, not knowing how things are going to come, not knowing how things are going to unfold, not planning, not taking that control, but just being completely vulnerable to the universe planning, and completely invulnerable to the universe providing the direction, and just being so tuned into my senses and the pleasure of the adventure that I can sense where things are going, and know where to respond and where to sort of flow with the guidance. I don't know if this is making a lot of sense to you, but this is something that I've been playing with lately in terms of like my energy and how I'm opening up and surrendering and being vulnerable to the universe kind of having its way with me, and creating this just real raw kind of sexual magnetism between my own energy and everything that I'm wanting to attract. So with that being said, gone on a bit of a rant there, that's kind of what I want to tap on today. I want to, first of all, like get us into a place where we feel really safe being that raw and vulnerable, and just giving up complete control, and being like so open and so, I think vulnerable is the right word, like just completely surrendered to this other energy and how it's going to take control over where we're going in the direction and how things unfold for us. So just feeling so safe, giving up the reins, giving away that control, and then really tapping into that real raw sexual feminine energy of enjoying the pleasure, enjoying the experience, and creating that magnetic energy. So starting on the karate chop point, let's see how this goes. I've never tapped on this topic before, so we're just going to see how it unfolds. Even though it can be really hard to give up the reins, I deeply and completely love and accept and surrender myself. Even though I don't like the idea of giving up control, I like to be the one driving the car. I deeply and completely love and accept and honor myself. Even though it can be really hard to fully surrender, to just allow things to flow without my direction. I deeply and completely love and accept and forgive myself. It's really scary to give up control. It's really scary to give away all trust. I don't feel that it's safe when I fully surrender. It's hard to trust people in my life. With that much control. Because I've been conditioned to believe that when I do, I get hurt. Or I can only be happy when I'm making things happen. So how do I explain giving up control to this energy I can't even see? To source energy. To the universe. When it's not a physical entity. When I don't fully understand its power. When I don't understand the way it's going to work out for me. I don't feel that it's safe. Feels too scary. The outcome feels too uncertain. And when I want something so bad, surely it's up to me to make it happen. Surely I can only receive it if I really work for it. I've been taught that I need to earn it. I've been taught that I only deserve it when it's been hard to get. I've been taught that it needs to be hard and painful. Not full of joy and pleasure. Not playful and sexy. But this hasn't exactly been working out for me. So maybe it's time to try something new. There have been times when I've felt the universe support me. when things have happened in ways I couldn't explain. Or have manifested or unfolded when I didn't make it happen. At least not from a point of planning and taking action. So I know deep down that there is something to being in receiving mode. That there is some surrender, some playfulness, some sexiness. And I'm choosing to embody more of that now. I'm choosing to tap into my raw, vulnerable feminine. I'm choosing to tie my hands behind my back and let the universe have its way with me. I'm activating my sacral chakra. I'm allowing my feminine goddess to flow. I'm embodying her raw sexual energy. I'm allowing myself to play and have fun. Opening up to joy and pleasure. Activating the magnetism between myself and the things I want. And allowing the desire of what I want to run through my veins. Activating my senses like I never have before. Walking through my day feeling so sensual. Like my eyes have been closed and I suddenly feel and taste and smell everything. And it's making me feel so alive. It's making me feel so activated. I feel so sexy. And I'm ready to play like I never have before. Ready to feel pleasure like I never have before. Ready for the universe to be in the driver's seat. To guide me with my senses. To open me up to receiving. So much joy and pleasure. It is so safe for me to be this vulnerable. Because I have so much trust in the universal energy. The universe loves me so much. And wants me to experience joy and pleasure while keeping me safe. I am so ready to receive it all. I'm shackled to the bed. My eyes are closed. I'm completely open to receiving. I'm completely open to receiving. And so it is. All right, take a big breath in. Let it all go. And drink lots of water. That was quite different from anything I've ever done before, so I would love to hear how that was for you and whether that's activated anything in you that is quite different from the way that you're experiencing the energetic exchange with the universe before. So have a go with it. Let me know how it goes, and I will talk to you soon.